everybody, it's Mike Gesowich back with another exciting episode of Ask Edutyping. I'm co-founder of Teaching.com, Edutyping.com, and Typing.com, where we service literally hundreds of thousands of students across the United States and the world to teach the foundational skill of keyboarding, which is the skill you'll need for all things technology. Each week, we field user questions from students and teachers who are using either Typing.com or Edutyping, or just those interested in learning answers to anything related to keyboarding or typing skills. Each week we start with a tip of the week, and this week is called Add Typing Trivia to Your Keyboarding Curriculum. Basically, typing trivia is a wonderful way for students to have to really learn and master the layout of the keyboard, especially those foundational keys, the home row keys, A, S, D, F, and J, K, L, semicolon, and then all of the other surrounding alphanumeric keys. So here's how to play keyboarding trivia. Real simple. Each week, if you want to play this once a week or once a month, once a day, that's up to you. I'll leave that in your hands. But here's how it works. Basically, you have your students turn their keyboards over. If you have any visuals of a keyboarding chart, such as the poster behind me, which many keyboarding and computer labs do, you'll need to remove that from the wall, at least cover it with something so students can't see it. Because the key to playing keyboarding trivia is to have students recognize the keys through memory, not through what they see visually. And basically, you just generate a series of keyboarding trivia questions that are related to the keyboard. Here's a simple one. I'm found next to the letter S key, and I'm on the left of it. Who am I? And think about that for a minute. And the answer is the letter A key is to the left of the S key. Or you could create a question that says, you use the right index finger to anchor on me all the time. Who am I? I'm the J key, because that's the right index finger is always anchored on the J key. Or you can get real creative and say, you'll find me in an emergency room. Who am I? Or what letter am I? The answer to that question is the letter X key. Hint, X-ray. You'll find in an emergency room. So those are just some examples of creating questions for keyboarding trivia. You can have a lot of fun with this, different variations as your students increase in skill. And again, it creates a visual map of the keyboard for them in their minds, which will help them when they actually get to their keyboarding lessons. So each week we field several questions from our user audience. I'm joined off camera today by my colleague, Rennie Sullivan, who will read our first question. Rennie?
Thanks, Mike. Sahadat Bangadesh, using Typing.com, says, "Hi, Mike. I love typing, and I've learned so many things from this website. I've finished all the lessons from easy to advanced, but I want to speed up my capability a little bit more. In this regard, what is next for me? Can you advise, please?"
Well, first of all, that's a great question. You finished all the lessons, you feel like you're making great progress, so the last thing you want to do is stop practicing. So there's a few options for you here. Number one, you can sign up for, because I see that you're a Typing.com user, and on Edutyping, if you sign up for a free trial, that will give you access for 30 days. And Edutyping has a much more robust and enrichment style program where you literally will not run out of content to type. There's hundreds of in the news articles and practice library articles that we author and update on a regular basis. So that will give you a lot more practice. The other thing I would recommend is if you've exhausted the online tools, then a good option is to go to Amazon, pick up a good keyboarding textbook. So this goes a little old school, and it will probably be delivered to you either on a Kindle or you can order it in print. And then you just use a program like Google Docs or Microsoft Word and begin doing the lessons in a textbook. And that should give you more than enough. And once you really get a good word per minute and accuracy achievement level somewhere, and having no idea what your skill set is, that can be anywhere from 40 words per minute to 80 words per minute. After that, as long as you continue to practice keyboarding, and you can do this just organically by every day typing emails or school papers, you should really never lose that skill. The key is just making sure that you implement some type of keyboarding practice, and your skills should stay honed and sharp for the rest of your life as long as you continue to do that. So thanks, and that was a great question. Let's take question number 2 this week. Ready?
Natalie Thornton, using Typing.com, she asks, is 80 words per minute a good typing speed for a 14-year-old?
First of all, Natalie, that is fantastic for a 14-year-old to type 80 words per minute. Think about that. That basically sets the clock from 1 to 60, and you're able to type more words in those 60 seconds than the number of seconds in a minute. So 80 words per minute is excellent for a 14-year-old, and you can continue to increase that as long as you continue to practice. The one thing that you left out of your question, which I really want to see the detail on, is what is your accuracy? If your accuracy is somewhere around 90%, that sounds great because we think of a 90 as a really good score when it comes to grades on a test, and it is. It's an A- and it's excellent. The only problem here is that 90% as far as keyboarding goes is actually not too proficient, because that means that 10% of the time you're making mistakes. And in the professional world, as well as the academic world, your teachers or employers are going to expect that things are submitted error-free, or at the very least only have 1 or 2 errors. That's for academic world. In the professional world, like what I'm involved with, my expectation from our employees is that everything comes in at 100% accuracy. But hey, I don't want to be discouraging here. 80 words per minute is fantastic. Keep up the good work, Natalie. That's a great example to strive for students all around the country to achieve. So great job. And we have time for one more question today. So Rennie, if you would, please read our last Ask EduTyping question of the week.
Andrew Jones asks, why can't I improve my typing speed anymore? I'm stuck at 70 words per minute.
Well, first of all, Andrew, being stuck at 70 words per minute is not a bad thing, so don't get too discouraged. The other thing that I don't know here is how many minutes you're dedicating to keyboarding and typing every day. If it's, if you're just typing once a week and you're trying to get from 70 words per minute to a higher level, do realize that you do need to put in the time to practice. The other thing is, when you first learn how to type and you're in a good rhythm, you'll notice that you can increase your words per minute almost daily, if not, every week, say from 25 words per minute to 30 words per minute to 35 words per minute to 40 words per minute. But then as time goes on, you'll start to see that your skills start to get maximized and your progress will definitely begin to slow down. It's kind of like if you're familiar with people who go on diets and try to lose weight, they have no problem losing weight or a significant amount of weight in the first month or 2. But then as they get closer to their goal, things really slow down and it becomes more difficult. That same philosophy applies to keyboarding and typing skills. So put the time in, practice every day, but realize that incrementally, as you get higher in words per minute, you will definitely see a much slower progress, but it's nothing to be discouraged about. And at some point, you just cap out, and your mind and your motor dexterity skills and coordination will only be able to achieve a certain height as far as words per minute goes, and there's nothing wrong with that as well. We all reach our maximum at some point in time, and there's nothing wrong with that. So keep up the good work, but practice, practice, practice every day, and you'll start to see that word per minute score go up incrementally. As small as it may be, it will still hopefully move up. So that's all we have time for this week, folks. But please, if we didn't get to your questions, you can reach us through Facebook at #AskEduTyping, as well as Twitter and on Instagram. Please visit our blog at Typing.com and EduTyping.com. It's filled and packed with all kinds of great typing tips and techniques for both students and teachers alike. And you also can find copies of previous episodes of Ask EduTyping. So I look forward to seeing you next week, everybody, and keep up the good keyboarding, teaching, and learning. Take care, everybody.